Hello and welcome to the RevPro wrap-up with me, Francesca Oliver, and I am here with the owner and matchbooker, Andy Quildan.
I've never been called a matchbooker before, but here we are.
Well, it's true, though.
Right. Yeah, I guess so, yeah. I traditionally prefer the term matchmaker, but
Sorry.
But we'll go with matchbooker. And hello. I want to talk to you for a second, okay, Fran?
Okay.
Get out of here. The men are talking. Make sure he's not still there. Andy, I come here on my day off to help you out because Dave Bradshaw couldn't be here. You know I don't do commentary no more, but I came here as a favour for you because you needed it. And then what happens? I go into the ring at the end of the show to congratulate Nino, to shake his hand. As we all know, however many times you said it earlier on, everyone knows that is the match because no one is taking this title from me. Nino Bryant versus El Capitan for the undisputed British Cruiserweight Championship at Wembley. And before I could even step into the ring to shake that young man's hand, to give him what he deserved, Joe Lando comes out here after he lost his match and attacks me, assaults me in front of everyone. You saw it. Joe Lando lost that match. And what did I say, Andy? I said last week, Joe, I gave you a shot. I gave him an opportunity. And if you don't win the British J Cup, that's what I said. He agreed. If you don't win the British J Cup, you will never get a shot at mine. Undisputed British Cruiserweight Championship. But that wasn't enough for him. No, he had to come out in front of everyone and humiliate me, assault me. So what are you going to do about it, Andy? Because I'll tell you right now, Joe Lando should not be on shows for I don't know how long. I think Joe Lando should be suspended from in-ring competition until after Wembley. He needs to learn that his actions have consequences. And if he wants to come and assault the Cruiserweight champion, he needs to learn that in Revolution Pro Wrestling, our company, that isn't acceptable. Because if you let Joe get away with this, then everyone is going to think that they can get away with it, that they can walk all over you, Andy. So we need to do something about this, which is why I'm saying Joe Lando should be suspended from in-ring competition until after Wembley. That will send a message to the boys in the back. You finished? I'm finished.
Well, do you know what, Leighton? I think, despite the way you barged in here, I do think you've got a point, and I think it is very clear that actions do have consequences.
Thank you.
But all of this started with you. All of this started with you and Joe Lando. Look, I'm not going to get into the way you wound up with that undisputed British Cruiserweight Championship that you got over your shoulder right there, but I don't know where it comes into it whereby a champion loses a contest and then has to go through a tournament just to get the right to hold that to get a rematch at the championship that they lost in, dare I say, a questionable fashion. And look, you can stare at me all you like, but you and I both know how we got here and why we got here. And you and I both know why Leighton Buzzard got kicked in the face at the end of a show by Joe Lando. And it was because of what you did in the contest between Joe Lando and Will Caven. And if you hadn't got involved in that contest, then Joe Lando wouldn't have kicked you in the face. And if you hadn't got involved in that contest, then Joe Lando might have been the one who was stood in the ring at the end of a British J Cup with a British J Cup Championship. But we'll never know because you took that away from Joe Lando. You took that away from the fans. So you know what? We are going to see Joe Lando in a Revolution Pro Wrestling ring again. We're going to see Joe Lando in a Revolution Pro Wrestling ring next week against yourself.
What?
And the undisputed British Cruiserweight Championship is going to be on the line because listen, Leighton, you've done enough talking. Because don't forget, it was you who invited yourself here to commentate on the British J Cup. You must think I was born yesterday. You knew exactly what you were going to do when you came into the Gordon Craig Theatre tonight. And you're going to find out that actions have consequences because next week, live at the Porchester Hall, live in London 109, Leighton Buzzard, Joe Lando, undisputed British Cruiserweight Championship. You don't say who gets the championship matches. I do. If you want to start talking about suspensions, we can start talking about suspensions as well.
So I suggest, stupid, Andy, I wouldn't lay a finger on you, but I am telling you now. Next week, in London, whatever happens to Joe Lando, I want you to remember this now, okay? I warned you. Whatever happens to Joe Lando next week in London, that's on you. It's on you, Andy. Go back now, Fran.
Sorry about that, Francesca. So it's that time of the year. You need to, reset a little bit.
Wow, we've definitely seen a different Leighton Buzzard since him winning the championship, because we only have to remember back at the last Porchester Hall, he took advantage of using me as a human shield.
Yeah, so look, I think we all know what he's capable of. And as he said, actions have consequences. He's going to find that out firsthand next week. Porchester Hall, live in London 109. It's going to be Leighton Buzzard versus Joe Lando, undisputed British Cruiserweight Championship on the line.
So before we get on to what's going on next week at Porchester Hall, we should really talk about the British J Cup 2026.
Yeah, we should. It was a fantastic night of action, of course. Nino Bryant now has made history, a 2-time British J Cup winner. He did it back to back.
And he did it back to back, yes,
and
absolutely.
Very, very impressive from Nino Bryant. And now he's booked his ticket to Wembley, August 29th. And it's crazy as well, because I feel like people think that I'm over egging it. You know, like my job is a promoter first and foremost. So of course, I'm going to be telling you over and over again about these shows you can't miss. But August 29th, it really is everything for us at Revolution Pro Wrestling. It's everything that we've been doing for the last 14 years, all coming to a head with what we hope to be our biggest show ever. We're on course to be able to do that. But we need everyone's help to come and join us. And Nino Bryant now, he's going to be a part of that historic night at Wembley Arena. And again, look, I'm sure yourself just as much as me, we grew up watching professional wrestling shows in Wembley Arena, but it was always, the big American promotions that came over. But listen, I just think, look at the press that happened with, I spent my whole life trying to detract from this. Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks. You're not like, you're like Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks. No, we're nothing like that. But maybe historically, when you think about the Big Daddy Giant Haystacks famous match at Wembley Arena, maybe, this is the first link we can find with RevPro and Daddy and Haystacks in terms of, we're going for something big. We're going for something special. This is a British promotion doing it the British way. Nino Bryant has now got an opportunity to make history, and who he's going to face. Is it going to be Joe Lando or is it going to be Leighton Buzzard? I guess we'll find out, won't we? But, look, you can say what you like about Leighton Buzzard, but he's a phenomenal professional wrestler. So, I think next week we're going to be in for a treat in terms of Buzzard and Lando. And I think it's going to be very interesting to see how Joe Lando approaches a contest with both eyes open, because let's be honest, that contest he had prior with Leighton Buzzard, I think he was blinded by all the games that Leighton Buzzard had been playing in the build-up to a contest.
So we had quite a few debuts tonight. First was Samuel St. Daniel, and then we had Marcus Mathers and Jackie Canaille. How did you think they felt like they did coming into such a prestigious tournament, but this being their first match at RevPro at the same time?
Listen, I think all three did fantastic. Samuel St. Daniels, we've got to talk about him. He came in last minute to take the spot which would have been had by Cameron Kai in the tournament. I think he came and he gave it everything, and he wasn't intimidated by the spotlight. Sometimes you see people come into RevPro and they let the occasion get the better of them, especially a night like the British J Cup, when you talk about the lineage of the trophy, all the people who have held it and fought for the right to be called the British J Cup winner. And he just came in and he just went about his business in a workmanlike way, and looked very impressive against Nino Bryant, who obviously eventually went on to win the cup. So, I guess if he can take solace in one thing, he lost to the winner. Marcus Mathers, fantastic. look, I think Marcus Mathers is someone that I'd like to see back in a Revolution Pro Wrestling ring, on as a regular basis as we can make it. I think he was great. You can see why there's so much buzz about him in the professional wrestling world. And look, it's a different world. The world we live in now, is very different to it was when Revolution Pro Wrestling started, in the sense that when Revolution Pro Wrestling started, the independent wrestling scene in America was so hot. We could bring people over. You look at the first RevPro show, we had Johnny Gargano versus Zack Sabre Jr., Summer Sizzler 2012, August 26th, 2012, and you look back across those years and you had people like El Generico, Sammy Callahan, Jerry Lynn, like all these big names in independent professional wrestling that we've kind of brought over across the years. And it's felt like, really now there's not that many, I don't want to say big names, because we've always prided ourselves on having, the wrestler before they become the next big thing, right? And we like to try and get the future now, right? But like, you think about the American independent scene and the landscape, there's not many people who are writing headlines like they used to before. And there's not many people who, I don't know, like just calling out for that attention. But Marcus Mathers seems to be one of those people. And it'd be remiss of me not to mention the fact that obviously I look at Cowboy Way, Thomas Shire, one called Manders, as two people who are just like that as well. And they'll be back. Cowboy Way are back next week at Porchester Hall. So we'll have information on their match coming up in the coming days. Well, I'm just giving you some scoops without you even.
I know. I haven't even asked for an exclusive yet.
I think it's because your style is a lot less pressing than Dave Bradshaw's. So
I'm less intimidating.
That's it.
Than Dave Bradshaw.
I think that's it. Yeah. So that's happening as well. And Jackie Kamai, from Dragon Gate, again, unique professional wrestler. I think he's definitely someone who you can look at as one of the breakout stars of this current generation of Dragon Gate wrestlers. I mean, look, we all think about the fantastic Dragon Gate rosters they've had over the years. But Jackie's one of this new breeds, and I think he personifies everything that they're trying to be all about, and it's great to have him here. And it's, I said, like, on a weekend when we spoke about, where Forbidden Doors happening in the States, we've always prided ourselves on having talent from all over the world, all different promotions, and I think that is an example of working with Dragon Gate. Look, it's no secret we have a relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling. We work with AEW talent. You saw an AEW National Championship defense on the card tonight. So and Marcus Mathers, of course, a WWE ID prospect. So, like, what I'm saying is, we just care about professional wrestling. We just want good professional wrestling. We just want the best professionals. Easy for me to say. We want the best professional wrestlers from around the world. Look, there's a lot of exciting talent in Dragon Gate as well. And I hope that, this can be the start of opening that gate, if you will, to kind of bring more talent from Dragon Gate in as well. Because again, something that we've tried to do over the years is try to bring people to the UK and give people unique first-hand experiences of seeing international talent and opening eyeballs to UK eyeballs to international talent. I think our audience in Stevenage is very unique in the sense of it's a very unique mix of families, but then our regular fans as well. So when I say families, I'm like, obviously, look, families are welcome at all of our shows, and we have a lot of families at our shows, but like local families in Stevenage who don't necessarily follow the product outside of Stevenage. But thanks to this wonderful YouTube channel, they now have the opportunity to do just that. And yeah, like it's great for those fans who have probably never even heard of what Dragon Gate is to have their eyes opened to a performer like that. And I just think that's what's exciting. That's what's exciting about pro wrestling. That's what I love about pro wrestling. The diversity of styles. It's just a wonderful, wonderful thing. And we saw it up and down the card tonight.
So you did mention earlier about how Cameron Kai was meant to be in the tournament but was taken out. He had a 2 out of 3 falls match against the Flying Bryant brothers. Now we saw a little bit of a different side to Cameron Kai that we've seen in the last few months or so.
Well, look, I'm not even sure Cameron Kai wanted to be there in that tag match with Liam Slater, and I think that it's really, and it's an intriguing picture. And I'm not sure what games Liam Slater was playing with the way he set up that 2 out of 3 falls match. Like, I feel like it backfired in spectacular fashion, maybe underestimating the Flying Bryant brothers. But as everyone's found out tonight, you cannot underestimate those young men. I can't really comment on what's going on inside the Slater dojo, but what I do know is in Liam Slater's mind, tonight was all about preparing them for July 18th when we're live in Bradford, Slater dojo territory, the very first time we're going to be live in Bradford, and for Summer Sizzler 2026. And we know the main event of that show is the Slater dojo pairing of Liam Slater and Leon Slater going up against the Young Guns with the Undisputed British Tag Team Championships on the line. And listen, I think that it's going to be a big moment. It's going to be a big night for both teams, especially with Wembley looming in the background, and especially it being a homecoming for the Slater dojo. So super pumped and excited for the Summer Sizzler as well.
So I want to talk about Kanji and Rio. Now they went at it, and Rio managed to get the win, but it didn't look like it was ending where it did. It looks like they've not put their differences aside. It's still going to continue.
I think it's one of those things where when we need to figure out a way to get some finality on this. But I feel like it's one of those things when you've got two competitors who are so proud and at the top of their game. And listen, this whole thing was fought in a sporting-like way to begin with, and it's really the competitive edge of both women that has seen things bubble over. And I think that it's the very nature of the competitiveness of both women and the fact that the margins are so small. I feel like if there was a definitive winner, I think both women could accept it and move on. But I think just with those margins, again, so small, but the margins are good. When you're at the top of your game like this, the margins are going to be that small. And I feel like I say, we need to find a way to add some finality to the contest. We know, look, in the immediate future, we know Kanji is going up against Kaylee Ray next week, live in London, in the Porchester Hall. And we need to get this resolved ASAP because, look, the reality of the situation is, when Rio was leaving the ring, she said, Wembley's mine. Wembley's mine.
Okay.
Look, there's more than one spot at Wembley, but like, I think maybe that could be as it pertains to the Undisputed British Women's Championship. I don't know. But like, the reality of the situation is, come July 25th, we've got to have a Women's Grand Prix. And, you know, look, we're going to have the best female athletes in the world from around the world competing across 2 shows in one night at the Hangar in Wolverhampton. And we know the winner of that match will get a shot at the Undisputed British Women's Championship when it comes to Wembley Arena on August 29th. So maybe there's space for any one of them. Maybe that would clear the way for a path to Wembley. But look, it's not a foregone conclusion there. You know, either Rio or Kanji walk in and win that contest because we've still got names to announce. We've announced Zeuxis, we've announced Jessica Troy, Zoe Serrano, Emma Sir Jane. We've still got names to announce.
Got plenty more.
And look, it's going to be exciting. So we've got some big names to announce this week as well. So I'm very excited about the Women's Grand Prix.
I'm very excited about
and who goes on to Wembley as a result of that Women's Grand Prix. So that's very exciting. But as it pertains to Rio and Kanji, I don't know. Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it?
It really is. We also saw the AEW National Championship once again. Bit of interference at the start.
Yeah.
Bit of drama
Like,
going
look,
there.
I can tell you what I'm going to do about that. So obviously, Charles Samuels and man like Doris, they've been at each other's throats since Morecambe. So again, it's only a month ago, but
Yeah.
a month in Revolution Pro Wrestling is a long time because we're operating week in, week out. And neither of them were involved in last week's show in Southampton either. But so what we're going to do, we're going to make it Charles Samuels versus man like Doris, Summer Sizzler, Bradford Live. We're going to get it done at the Summer Sizzler. And look, while we're speaking about the Summer Sizzler as well, I should probably add we've decided again. Look, I find myself. I always try to explain as we approach these big milestones in Revolution Pro Wrestling, things get more and more heated, and I wind up getting more and more problems. But I'd say in many ways they're good problems because I'm trying to sell fights, and what we're getting is like just the most heated environments and atmospheres possible. And listen, we're going to get this JJ Gale and David Francisco thing sorted in Summer Sizzler as well. It's going to be David Francisco versus JJ Gale. We hope this is going to be one last time, and they're going to have a strap match. We've seen both of them utilize that strap, which again David Francisco brought into play. But look, we want there to be no doubts. So Gale and Francisco, Summer Sizzler in a strap match. So look at it. I'm just smashing
I'm
them
not
around.
even asking for these.
Yeah.
Well, let's go on to next week then. You mentioned Kaylee Ray is going to be there, but also we've got Bandido. Who is Bandido facing?
I can't tell you, Francesca. Dave would kill me if I told you another one.
Oh, come on. We do love wrap-up exclusive with Francesca.
I tell you what, I'm not scared of Dave Bradshaw, so
No.
I'll give you another one. So Bandido, listen, heartbreak tonight, but he's going to get another opportunity at redemption because Bandido's going to go one-on-one with Leon Cage.
Wow.
And that's going to be a match that you just do not want to miss.
It'll be a hell of a match.
And it's a match that I believe the whole wrestling world is going to be talking about. So, look, Bandido's going to go up against Leon Cage. I'm trying to think about any other fallout from tonight. I'm going to make Robbie X and Michael Oku as well after what Michael did. Look, I don't want people to feel like I get accused all the time of showing favoritism towards Michael Oku. And listen, I feel like he's gone too far. There's, again, we talk about the margins, but there's fine lines as well. And Michael Oku just stepped straight across that line today with Robbie X. So we're going to have Michael Oku versus Robbie X next week live from the Porchester Hall as well. How's that?
Wow. I think we should stop asking questions now because you're just one last one. What?
One last one. So look, this might not even be exclusive because we're gonna. It's a race against time. It's a race against time. But it might be because I envisage a lot of this stuff will come out on Monday. So we'll see when this wrap up comes out. But Alexis Falcon's going to have to put her money where her mouth is as well because she's going to be going one-on-one with Alice Inc. for the Undisputed British Women's Championship.
Alice Inc is back.
And she is back, and she made a statement, and we always say when you could go against a champion, it's almost double jeopardy. It's about winning or losing a match, but it's also you beat that champion, you get yourself a championship match. So Alice Inc is going to go one-on-one with Alexis Falcon in 8 days' time as we record this, the next Sunday, July the 5th, live from the Porchester Hall. So listen, Porchester Hall last time, it was busy. Very, very busy.
Packed.
We want next week's show to be even busier.
Yes.
We want to break another record. We've got an exciting lineup. And we're going to keep doing it week in, week out. And do you know what? I had a scary stat today, Fran.
Okay.
So like between now and Wembley Arena, you only have 1 week off.
Oh, I knew that. Oh, I keep an eye on our schedule.
I just blindly go about my day, and then here we are. I find myself like here, and I'm like, oh my goodness. So So look, next week we're live in London, and then we're in Sheffield, and then Bradford live for Summer Sizzler, and then it's Wolverhampton
then
on one day for 2 shows, and then Coventry the following day. And then from there, we're back to Porchester Hall. And then...
Have you announced it?
Have I announced what?
Then, no, it's Southampton next.
And then Southampton, and then...
Have you? That's why I was asking.
What? Have I announced what? Cardiff?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been announced for ages, mate. Unfinished business. But there might be a change. Well, we'll find there's stuff to come with Cardiff, but I'll give some more information in due course. Probably next week. We're kind of in the wrap up next week. Dave, if you're watching this, ask me about Cardiff next week, and I'll tell you what's what. And then we've got got a week off, and then
it's Wembley.
So it's coming quickly, and we need to start selling tickets. We need to start talking non-stop about it. But I thought you were talking about it non-stop already, Andy. Watch this space, because I will show you what talking about Wembley non-stop is all about. So buy your tickets, because this is going to be a huge time, and it's a huge summer of Revolution Pro Wrestling. And one last thing to add as well. I feel like I've taken it over now, but like I was a bit uneasy at the start because of that blatant buzzard. But like, look, one last thing to add. RevPro on demand. So this week we've added Android TV apps and Apple TV apps. So more ways than ever to watch Revolution Pro Wrestling now. So RevProOnDemand.com, you can watch it on the interweb. And to me, look, sign up on RevProOnDemand.com, get the best...
get the best deal. And then you can download it on any service.
Yeah, and you can use your login on any service.
That's what I did with my Roku app.
So you can't actually sign up via Roku.
No, but as in and then I just signed into my Roku.
Yeah, just sign in on your Roku, So like, you can sign up anywhere, but like, just sign up on RevProOnDemand.com and then use those credentials to log in anywhere. So yeah, like I say, but if you want to sign up with other places, if that makes you feel comfortable, go for it, right? So RevProOnDemand.com for the web. We've got Android app. We've got an iOS app, we've got a Roku app, we've got Amazon Fire Stick app, and now we've got Apple TV app and Android TV app. So if you're lucky enough to have an Android TV, so I think Sony TVs are Android TVs, and there are quite a few brands. There's like a few different types of TVs, but like the Android TVs, I think Sony and Android TV. There's lots of different brands of Android TV, but if you've got an Android TV app as well, you get that app store on there as well. So we're just trying to make this as accessible as possible for everyone. We hope you're enjoying what we're producing. Please continue to like this YouTube channel as well. We're just a few away. We may even have hit it by the time we get there, but we're just a few subscribers away from hitting 15,000, 15, which from small acorns grow big trees, So like one of the big things is like we lost our YouTube channel during COVID through nefarious means, unfair nefarious means, but which had the email been monitored during that time, it wouldn't have happened. But we've had to start the thing from scratch, and we've only really been focusing on it properly over the past year. So to me, we've scratched and clawed our way again, one fan at a time, one subscriber at a time, to get where we are now. And we're going to keep growing it and growing it and growing it. And I think we'll be doing more exciting things on the YouTube moving forward. But just get involved with that, and also check out the TikTok, because we started paying attention to TikTok this week as well.
I did not notice that we were doing the TikTok. Okay, well, I'm not massively on TikTok nowadays. I
don't understand TikTok, but I've just opened my own TikTok as well. I've not posted anything yet. I've been walking around filming video logs.
Are we going to see lots? Is it fluffy squishmallow? What is your fluffy squishy marshmallow?
Squishy marshmallow.
There we go. I got there in the end.
And Simba.
And
Simba Bear.
Simba's the older one.
He's the older Pomeranian.
Yeah.
And of course, Simon Cutesy Face is my cat. It's named by my son, Calvin. So
my dog's just called Alfie Bow, or Sir Alfred a Bosun.
Is it Alfie Bow after a singer?
No, spelled differently. He was already called Alfie when I got him, and then it just instantly, naturally progressed. Does he wear a bow tie like you? He does have an odd bow tie.
Of course he does. Anyway, guys, once again, thank you for watching us. Keep supporting Revolution Pro Wrestling. Are you going to sign off? I've been Andy. This has been Francesca. Good night.
And remember, get all your tickets from www.revolutionprowrestling.com. We'll see you soon.